So coming into the center, perhaps the center of your mat, the center of your being. Presence yourself to your body. Perhaps starting with the hands on the heart or in prayer at the heart center. Just taking a couple of breaths here to ground yourself into the present moment and into the coming practice. Nice full deep breath in through the nose and a gentle sigh of the breath out of the mouth. And repeat a few times and allow the breath to be like a whisper through the body. Just gently enlivening and awakening at your connection to your body so you can listen more clearly. Find your feet pressing gently into the earth beneath you. Soft ankles and knees so you can feel the receptivity of the feedback it gives you as you release all your weights and your body to your feet and into the earth. Finding a good established foundation before you move. Notice what's going on in the body and what you might need for today's practice and adjust it as you go. So whatever it is I'm offering, if it's not quite working for you, then you can modify. Nobody's looking, right? Allow the hands to drop to your side and slowly turn the palms out and up as you inhale. Let the arms float up. Hands may or may not meet overhead. As you exhale, draw them through the center, back to the heart, and then down towards the base. Inhale, turn the palms out and up. Let the arms float up, gently connecting to the earth as you do so. And exhale through the center, gently pulling the energy down into your body. Hands drop, knees might bend this time. Inhale, arms out, wide and up. Maybe looking this time as the hands perhaps meet overhead. And as you exhale, drawing through the center once again. Hands continue their journey down. Bend the knees and inhale, rise. Feet press in as the heart opens to the sky. And as you exhale, this time just allowing the palms to spread across the face as you begin to fold forward. And hands come down to the floor or to your feet, legs, wherever they fit. Maybe some blocks. Head hangs for a moment. And then bend the knees deeply, press the feet into the floor, let the head and arms hang and roll slowly up. And the arms can continue on a second breath or one long continuous breath as the hands reach overhead. Meet there and exhale back to the heart center. Hands continue the journey down, knees bend. Inhale, palms out and up. Press the feet into the floor to reach for the sky. The heart opens, and as we exhale, the hands pour over the face. And then the heart begins to take you down to the earth. Hands to the earth or the legs, keeping you grounded there. Head releases fully, crown to the floor. Bend the knees deeply, press the floor away from you and roll back up in one long smooth breath if you can now. Hands meet overhead, you may watch the union. And exhale as we draw back to the center of the heart and of the body. Inhale, one last round, bend the knees, arms just flying up, head lifts as the hands meet, heart opens and leads you down to the earth. Soften the knees as much as you need to here in order to allow the head to hang,
to allow the spine to elongate through the weight of the head. Take a couple of breaths here. You might like to just gently sway from side to side, or roll out your shoulders, or swing your chin from side to side, or a combination of the above. Now we're going to half lift. So inhale, lift the chest and chin, let the hands right up the legs a little and open the back of the legs a little more. So we're straightening the legs, lifting the chest, lengthening the spine, and then exhale, just refolding, softening the knees as much as you need to get that fold going. And then rolling up once again, head and arms hang, press the floor with your feet, and inhale, ride all the way up to the sky. A little more of an opening in the front body now. Keep the tail long. And exhale back to the center. Hands at the heart, tuning back into the body. Just notice what's going on. Any adjustments that you need to make. Any yoga stripping that you need to do. It's always nice. It's a really slow start. Keep that tuning in to the body so you know exactly where you're at. And again, we drop the arms, we bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen out and up. Draw the navel in towards the spine to support you in the standing back bend that's beginning to emerge, hopefully. And exhale, folding heart to the knees. Crown to the earth. Half lift on your inhale. Little smile from both ends preferably. Little wag of the tail. And then we're going to just place our hands on the floor blocks or whatever you need, and then jump the legs wide. So they're about 3 to 4 feet wide. And just begin again the little wagging of the tail. You can have a little wag of the head as well. That naturally arises for you, that's fine. Try not to bend the knees at the initial wag, so we can really feel into the groin area and what's going on in the hips. You might like a little more circular action, and then the knees do need to soften for that, so you can really roll through the hips, sort of massage into the lower back, get a little deeper in the movement in the hip, and then change the direction, going the other way. Knees soften a little here so you can find that gentle flow movement. Don't make it rigid if you can. Inhale, lifting, smiling. Hands are going to come onto the floor so they're flat. And we're just going to step back now into downward facing dog. So press the floor away from you with your hands. You can have the knees nice and soft. You can always, if you've just got a long mat, just change the direction. Knees soft, heels a little high to start with. So we have this little pulse where we're going to press the hands into the floor and try and push back, chest towards the knees and floor. So back and down, and the heels a little high so we can keep the rolling of the sit bones up, so we can try and keep nice and long in the back and not worry so much about the hamstrings. You could even coil into the belly, dropping the head, tucking the tail a little, and then exhale all the opposite movements. Then we're going to inhale onto our knees, have them nice and wide, and the toes come together, knees apart. Drop the buttocks down to the heels, and then begin again that little gentle play, sway, getting comfortable through the hips. You might like to swing the chin from side to side, place the forehead down, and just slowly feel into the shoulders, rolling out any tension as you sway. And then we're going to bring the hands together and just release the wrists. So So rolling the heel of the hands to the back of the fingers, to the heel of the hands, to the back of the fingers. And just continue for a few rounds before changing it out to the opposite rotation. Hands come into prayer overhead and draw the thumbs towards the neck. Try and push the elbows forward and drop the underarms down. Some of you, if you're very low to the ground and the chest begins to touch the earth, then you might like to lift the chin so you're looking directly in front of you and really allow that opening in the front chest, or the dropping in the front chest. Hands get placed back down, shoulder distance when you're done. And inhale, push back up, coiling as you go. Tuck the tails. Tuck the toes. You don't have more than one tail. And then lift the tail. And push back. Downward facing dog. Hallelujah. Inhale, round forward. Lengthen out to plank. And you might need to just adjust the feet there. So the wrists are under the shoulders and, you've got nice alignment in the legs. Exhale, push back, and again, just making small adjustments. Soften the knees, lift the heels. Inhale, roll forward. So the head drops, the tail tucks a little, and we round through the spine. And then iron ourselves out here as we emerge in plank. Exhale to push back. Inhale to roll forward. Land yourself, shoulders directly over the wrist. Lengthen from heel to crown. And exhale, push back. Inhale, once again. And exhale, push back. Maybe you want to bring the feet in a little bit more again. Widen them, perhaps, so they're shoulder... hip distance. Any little movement here in downward facing dog that feels nice, you can just do. And then we're going to begin that rolling action again. So we round through the spine, roll forward at the same time. We lift the heels, push our hips forward and roll through the spine. And then we're going to, as we do that, bring the left foot with us, bringing it to our hands. Step that back foot in, drop the heel down, and we're going to let that left hand find its way up your leg and continue to reach the right arm up. So we come into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Take an inhale as you reach up into your fingertips, and then exhale as you let the arm drop down beside the ear and then across the face and down towards the earth. And then inhale, let the circle continue as the hand pushes back and up. And exhale as we bring it across the face and down. Inhale as it lifts back and up. And exhale as it comes back and down. This time just let the arm hang for a moment, straight down to the earth. Use that next inhale to bring it up across the chest. And remind yourself to rotate your torso as you reach the arm up. Chest wants to look up towards the sky as well. And lengthen now through the crown and the tail. And press both feet as evenly as possible into the floor. Really roll out to the outer edge of that back leg, lifting the arch of your foot if you can. Breathe into sides of your body, into all your limbs, like you're a star. You are a star. Head can be up, down, or straight ahead, just wherever the neck is comfortable. Take an inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to drop the arm down. Lift that left foot and bring it back to the front. So we're all facing the length of your mat now. Both feet are facing the same direction. Hands are under the shoulders and the feet are really quite wide again. Prasarita Patadottanasana, our wide leg standing fold. And again, come back to the little click, click, click of the hip, hip, hip. Take an inhale like it's a half lift, and as you exhale, then fold. Let the head hang and swing the chin from side to side, and if you like, once again, just really getting into the hips and allowing the tick-tock of your tail. Inhale, half lifts. And as we exhale, we're going to turn to the other side. So turn the right foot out. Hand is going to come up the leg wherever it's going to be super comfortable for you to be here. We want long waists on both sides of the body if we can. As we inhale, that right arm is going to rise up past the chest and reach out towards the sky. So get comfortable in the feet in your alignment. Make sure that the hips, legs, knees are happy. Take an inhale as you send the energy up into the fingers. Yum. And as you exhale, turn the palm down towards the floor and let it come down towards the ear, across the face, and down. And inhale, push it back and up as the palm turns slightly out. And then exhale. So we're like a big sundial. Exhaling, inhale as the arm reaches up, chest lifts a little. And exhale as the arm begins its descent down. Inhaling. And exhale across the face. Let the hand hang just for a moment. And then use that next inhale to bring it up across the chest as a little reminder, like magnetizing the chest to follow the hand up towards the sun, the sky, the moon. Lengthen between the tail and the crown. And if the neck is not comfortable, just adjust the head. Sometimes we throw our chin out a little, so be aware if that's you and tuck it in a little. It doesn't mean we want to over tuck, right? We're looking for neutrality in the spine. Take an inhale, reach into your fingertips, and as you exhale, let it spread down again. And then as you get there, midway, we're going to bring it back around. Hands come back underneath you. And then just walk them a little further in front of you. Push back so you're like some sort of a tent being pinned down on all four corners. But there's a bit of a wind, bit of a breeze, pulling you back. But you're pinned down, right? You're staked in. It's all good. And you can roll those sit bones nice and high as you pull the buttocks back down to the floor behind you. You're not going anywhere near there, right? But that's the action. Couple of deep breaths there. Any little wriggling or moving that feels nice for you to release any tension or hardness, stagnation. And then inhale, come forward so the shoulders come over the wrists again. And then you can just hop or step back into downward facing dog. Get comfortable once again with your stance, with your alignment, with your body, with your breath. I'm going to walk the feet together towards each other. And inhale, reach the right leg up. And exhale, draw it into the body. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, draw it into the body. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Press both hands into the floor. Try and keep the hip a little drop so we're not, overlifting just yet. Rotate your ankle 3 times in each direction. And then bend your knee and straighten it, and bend the knee and straighten it, and bend the knee and straighten it. You might like to then lift the hip, just stretch everything. Press that right hand specifically or purposely into the floor.
find a little delight here. You can probably see my belly button now, which isn't super great. Should tuck myself in. But maybe then drop the foot back and just hold. We're just taking our time with poses today. And then exhale, slowly bring the hips back in alignment. That right foot comes back onto the floor, push back into dog, and then inhale, roll forward onto your knees. Nice and wide with the knees. And then big toes together as we press the heels back. Buttocks to heels. Chest down, forehead down if you like, rolling it out. If you need to, lift the hands over your head and rotate out through the wrists. Hands come into prayer and once again push back over the head towards the spine. Elbows push forward, underarms push down. And if you can, then you can drop the chest all the way to the earth and lift the chin so you're looking directly in front of you. And then releasing the hands so they come back, shoulder distance. Inhale to lift up. And this time exhale as you bring your knees in line with your hips. Just begin to lower the torso to the earth, to the floor. Come to lie all the way down with the hands just under the shoulders. Feet, tops of feet are just gently pressing into the floor, and the toes are trying to run away and trying to really lengthen away from you. Hips are smooching into the ground, really enjoying that earth connection there. You might even like a little rock through the hips, through the shoulders. And I'd like you to begin to draw the navel in towards the spine as you press your sacrum towards the earth. So there's this sort of slightly double action going on. And then use that inhale to just gently lift. Back bend to wherever feels good for you. Don't use the hands to push yourself up just yet. And then exhale to release. Inhale, do that again, but this time lift the right leg with you. And exhale to release. Inhale, lift the left leg with you. Right foot presses gently into the floor. And exhale. This time both feet again. Lift your chest, your feet, and draw the shoulders away from your ears. Elbows pulling you gently back towards the feet. And then exhale to release. Take a breath. Roll it out, breathe it out, smooch it out. And then again, inhale, lifting back up onto your knees, and then back into dog. Wag out, move out, shake out, breathe out anything that is not perfect for you in this moment. I'll just tuck myself in, I think. Right, now this time we're going to work with the left foot, left leg. So bring the feet in towards each other so they're a little more into the center line rather than hip distance. And we're going to inhale and extend that left leg up and behind us. Try and keep the hip, in line with the other. And then exhale, draw the nose towards your knees if you want to kiss it. And you might want to kiss it. Inhale, rise. Press both hands into the floor, let the leg lift. And exhale, coil, draw in, kiss the knee. Inhale, push the floor, lengthen from crown to toes. Exhale, draw in. Eskimo kiss maybe this time. Inhale, let the leg rise and still holding it in line with the hip, with the other hip, So we're not lifting the hip yet, and then we're rotating the foot 3 times in each direction. Bend the knee, straighten it. Bend the knee, straighten it. And then just straighten the leg and extend and lift. So we're now opening the hip up. Press both hands and the opposite foot into the floor. Particularly that left hand wants to press in, right? And then slowly bringing that leg back down. And this time all the way through. And turning both feet once again so they come to the fronts. So they're both facing the right or whatever side you're doing. Coming back to a little wag of the tail, and this time we're going to bend the right knee, and you might like to even, walk towards it or lean towards that bent knee, keeping the other one nice and straight. Spine nice and straight, chest lifted. Inhale back to the center, and exhale to the other side. Bending that left knee, keeping the other leg nice and straight. Lifting from the arch all the way into the inner groin. Inhale back to the center. And exhale, stretching in. Inhale back to the center and exhale, left knee bends. Drop into it a little. And then inhale to the center. Take a breath here as you half lift. And as you exhale, folding in. As best you can, you could have blocks here or just soften the knees a little bit so you're not over-efforting in the legs. And also not locking the legs either, so be careful finding that perfect activation and opening and lengthening through the legs. So inhale and half lift, and we're going to allow that left foot to lift all the way off the floor, turning it out as we drop towards that right leg as we bend. This might be enough for some of you. Some of you might be able to come all the way down. Just holding yourself so you're not collapsing into it and unable to get out. That's always a sure sign you've gone too far if you actually cannot get out. But some of you might really be able to sit in, hold for a moment. Otherwise, we're just where we are at, right? Maybe all the way up here, it's absolutely fine. Your practice, nobody's looking, remember? You're at home. That's perfect. So just taking a moment here. And then when you're ready, coming back up, so pushing yourself back up, placing that foot back down. And then lifting the right foot. Kick it out so the ball lifts off completely. And it's sort of almost pushing away from you as you walk towards. Now be aware that this side might be a little bit different from the other side. So don't take anything for granted. Some of you might be able to come all the way in. Try and keep the lifting going, right? Breathing here. Remember to be where you are and be happy to be there. And then as you're ready, pressing to come up, back to the center. Wriggle out the tail. Hands come in under the shoulders once again. And we're going to just jump back into downward facing dog. Wag your tail. I know this is a little complicated because I've got a round mat and I'm using the whole of that. So just find your way around your mat in a way that's comfortable. But equally, don't be afraid to come off the mat and use the floor around the mat. You know, it's not like poisoned everywhere else and we can't touch anything that isn't a mat, right? So free yourself up. Don't be restricted and contained by a little bit of rubber. And once again, onto the knees, make them nice and wide, big toes together, and drop the heels back to the buttocks. Drop your hearts to the earth, forehead rests. A few nice deep breaths here. might like to release the wrists. And then once again, hands come down to the earth. They're shoulder distance. We inhale to come up and just let the knees roll over so we can lay our body down on the earth. Feet flatten out, hands come in under the shoulders. Once again, you might like a little wriggle around shoulders and hips. Take your time here to just feel back into the body as if you are getting to know yourself a little more intimately. As we come to the end of a practice, we can hopefully feel a little more subtly into the body, a little more connected. And if you like, use an inhale to ride up into a back bend of your choice. And as you exhale, pushing back, maybe tucking the toes, drawing the knees in under the hips so they're in alignment. Bowing to the earth. And then inhale to come up. Bring your left knee forward so it's sort of in like a pigeon pose, and then just swing that right leg all the way across that left thigh, knee. And if this isn't available to you, you can just straighten out that leg, and you could also just even be here. So many options, please take what you need. The rules are listen to the body. It's that simple. Take a moment just as you lengthen through the spine. Maybe hands on the earth, or even just gently touching through that leg. Begin to find your own way a little bit here. It's like there's no precise thing you have to do, no matter how much you're told instruction, this, that, or the other. Listen to the body. Each moment something new can arise for you, and you can discover a new expression or a new feeling that the pose can bring just by doing it really subtly differently. So when you're ready, take an inhale, lengthen up the spine, and as you exhale, we're going to wrap the left arm around the right leg. So the elbow and the knee meet each other, and we gently begin to draw the thigh, the knee, in towards us. I love this feeling of just being in love with my leg. Really wanting to embrace it. So drawing it in, at the same time lengthening up. Take an inhale, soft through the center of the body. And as you exhale, you can just take that right hand behind you and turn to look over that right shoulder. Use the breath here as a way of finding the subtleties and finding what needs releasing, what needs activating. Or just simply softening and being with the breath. Each breath an opportunity to learn a little bit more about yourself in this pose and being here in this moment. In your body. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, just draw the chin across, looking over the left shoulder now. Lengthen up through the spine. Make sure you haven't, lost too much of the twist behind you. Breathe those delicious breaths into your chest, your ribs, your belly. If you can get that far in a twist, good luck to you.
And then slowly take an inhale and then slowly release everything on the exhale. So we let the arms go, but we're just going to straighten out that left leg and bring the right leg across. So the sole of the foot is now in the inner thigh of the left leg. Right hand just stretching across that right knee. I'm going to redress. It's still cold here in sunny Victoria. Cooling down again. So lengthen up through the spine as you hold here. That left hand is just a little bit behind you. I like to work with this way, with this pose, Janu Shirshasana here, to try and bring the chest, the heart in alignment to that left leg. So it doesn't matter if it shifts off, right? If we don't have the capacity in the hips, don't worry about it. It's just, you know, eventually we might think about getting there. But we just have that slight twist in the spine to keep it actually aligned. We're going to inhale and extend that right arm up, and then as we exhale, just folding forward to wherever you get. You might just get to the leg, the foot, doesn't matter. Turn on an inhale to look behind you at that left arm, and on the exhale you might want to swing that left arm, bringing it forward and dropping back down into the fold. And the fold can be here. We want to try and have as much as the fold coming from the hips, so don't just collapse through the spine and drop the head so it's just falling short, but we want the lengthening action and then the folding, and whether that means you're just here doing that, that's absolutely fine. That right knee gently pressing into the floor to try and open up that hip. Take a few good deep breaths here. Make sure your jaw and eyes are relaxed and soft here. Breath by breath, letting everything go. And then we can use an inhale to slowly walk our way out of there. And from there, just lift that left leg up a little. We're going to tuck that right foot through, so we can then just bring that left foot across the right knee. Back to Mariachiyasana, the twist that we were doing. Hopefully I've said that right. All right, so just taking this moment, this sweet moment to align into what is a fresh pose on a fresh side. What are you feeling here, and what do you need to let go of, and perhaps what do you need to activate? So you can be with hands on the knees, hands to the side, hands to the heart, wherever feels really right for you just now. Attune, and then take an inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to gather that left leg with our right arm. I like to draw my belly in and, you know, to the left a little here, so none of my flesh gets in the way of the twist. Hug in your thigh like it is a lover. Gently, you know, has a sense of tenderness to that, right? Kindness. We lengthen up from tail to crown. And as we exhale, the left hand comes behind us if it isn't already, and we turn the chin to look over that shoulder. And just working there with that gentle, tender hugging of the thigh. That's going to help open the hip, right? But hugging that shoulder as well, so, you know, nothing is being pulled, everything is being contracted back. Contracted back and opened at the same time. Love the crazy yoga stuff. Opposing forces coming together in unison with equal measure often. Breathing into the chest, the ribs, the belly, if you can get that far. Take an inhale when you're ready. Use the exhalation to bring the chin to the opposite shoulder. So over to the right, looking out in front of you now. Make sure that you haven't lost too much of the twist back behind you. So see what you need to do. Try just gently pressing this right knee on the floor, into the floor, the thigh into the floor as you gather the left one into your heart, into your body. Inhale here, and as you exhale, slowly release the twist. And as you do, you're going to straighten out the right leg and take the left leg. So the foot, the sole of the foot, is resting along the line of the inner thigh. By the way, you could be sitting on something at this point, right? Sorry, I should have said that earlier. But of course, take the propping that you need, blanket. Folded blanket underneath can be really useful. Left hand across the left knee. This right leg at attention. Toes are up, yes sir, to the ceiling, floor, sky. And then the foot is pressing up against its imaginary wall. That right hand just a little bit behind you to remind the twist to be turning a little over that leg. This is active. This needs to be active. We can't be floppy here. Can't be disengaged here. We need consciousness. Awake, awake. Awaken this leg. Awake everywhere, right? But this leg is your little bit of a focal point. Lengthen up through tail and crowns. Get nice and long through there. Use an inhale to lift that left arm up, and exhale as you fold forward and let the hand, the arm just drop to wherever you reach. There's no competition here. Look back as you inhale at that extending right arm that's trying to walk away from you, and then use the exhalation to swing it forward and bring the heart, the chest, the torso towards the leg. And that could be meaning it's really quite a distance still to go. That's fine. We don't want to collapse to try and get down to the leg. We want to be open and long and flowing over and towards the leg. Try not to have too much of a lift in the chin here. Slight tuck. We're not dropping the head. Well, I guess you could if it felt really nice. But sometimes it's good to just have that gentle tone through the whole of the spine, coming out of the crown towards the foot or beyond. Few deep breaths. What does it mean to you to be here? What do you need to do to be comfortably here? And then we inhale and gently come up. Let's bring both soles of the feet together. You could have your hands around your ankles, over your toes, or even behind you, staking you up if you find it super difficult to be here. But also have the feet further away from the pubis, or have them closer in. Choosing for yourself, trying to not collapse to be here. So if it's a collapse, we want to perhaps be having the hands a little closer into the center line rather than pulling away. 3 to 5 deep breaths here, and if you like spinal breathing, this is a great place to do it. You might like to breathe on the inhale up the spine and on the exhale down the spine, getting clear. You could also do it the opposite way, so everything is open to interpretation.
So at this point you could press stop and continue on with a few more floor-based stuff or some pranayama practice, or just come into Shavasana. So again, taking any tools that you need to be comfortable, rolling up a blanket or something underneath, little bolsters underneath the knees or anything under the head, over the body if it's still cool, or just simply lying down, allowing the feet to fall open on either side, arms a little bit away from the body, and if comfortable, palms face up. Draw the shoulder blades in towards each other a little and then place them down, as you might want to lengthen the tail and the flesh of your buttocks down towards your feet a little as well. And the back of the head, so slight tuck of the chin, back of the head reaches a little bit away, and then we allow just that natural recalibration. Take 3 to 5 deep breaths here into the belly. Real focus on the exhalation, so if you can, the lengthening of the exhale here. And let that lengthening of the exhale take you into Shavasana, where I'm just going to finish off here and you're going to come out of Shavasana as and when you're ready.